Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I got a pretty fun video here today. I'll be giving you guys a look at my most recent tool haul from Harbor Freight and sharing some of my thoughts on what I think are some pretty essential tools for anyone that's just getting started in any type of mechanic work. And I'll be giving you guys a look at how I decide to organize everything in my brand new US General 10 drawer modded cart. So for price point, I picked everything up here from Harbor Freight for around $700 to $800. I can't remember the exact price I spent, but I'll go look through my receipts and get everything added up, and I'll put a total for you guys on the screen so you know exactly how much I spent for all this. And of course, you don't always have to spend that much. There's of course things that you can sacrifice or live without, especially if you're just a beginner. But I'm gonna go through a brief overview of everything I picked up and kind of share some of my thoughts and show you guys some of what I think are the most essential things, some things that you can live without if you're just starting up. After that, I'm going to show you guys how I decide to organize my new toolbox. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. All right guys, so I'm gonna get started out over here on the left-hand side, starting out with this Pittsburgh 3-ton low-profile jack. So I chose the low-profile jack because it makes it a lot easier to avoid any clearance issues with trying to reach the jack points on different types of vehicles. Some sit lower to the ground, especially if they're on coilovers. So having a low-profile jack definitely helps with making it easier getting the jack underneath the car and reaching to different spots. Also, to talk about everything, I'm going to be putting up the MSRP price on the screen as well as the price that I paid for it on sale, just to give you guys a reference point of what these go for usually and what they can go for on sale. So you guys see if there's no sale currently, just wait a couple weeks. And Harbor Freight's always throwing sales and coupons around, so you can probably pick it up for a better price. All right, so moving on, the jack stands are uncoincidentally right next to the jack, because of course if you're working underneath any car, you definitely need to support it. With jack stands, you definitely don't want to just use the jack to keep it supported while you're working underneath it. You definitely want to jack it up with the jack and then put these underneath the car to support it. And then also what I like to do is just leave the jack engaged underneath the car while I'm working on it, just in case anything happens, the car will fall on the jack and not me while I'm underneath it. So definitely need a pair of jack stands to stay safe. I picked up the 3-ton ones because most of my vehicles are relatively small. If you're doing any work on trucks or heavier cars, they do have 6-ton jacks that I would probably recommend over these ones, just so you can have some peace of mind. All right guys, so next up we have this Icon rubber 24-ounce dead blow hammer, which is definitely a great tool if you need to knock anything out of place but not damage it at the same time. I would say a steel one of these would definitely be good to have too. I just already had one, not from Harbor Freight, so that's why I didn't pick it up. But definitely a great tool here. All right guys, so pliers are definitely a must-have tool for any mechanic, and I think what comes down to debate is the type of plier that you need when just starting out. So I think this 4-piece plier set from Quinn here is definitely a great set if you're just starting out. It's got these 10-inch groove joint pliers, the 9-inch linesman pliers, these 8-inch long nose pliers, and then the 7-inch diagonal cutter. So that will pretty much, that's a lot of versatility there in one pack that will stop you from having to pick up a bunch of different things separately. So I think this is definitely a great pack to start out with. And then so everything else I picked up here is kind of just from my experience working on cars. So here I have these Pittsburgh long reach angled needle nose pliers, which I think is definitely a tool for getting into tight spaces and helping you grab stuff a lot easier and probably save you a lot of time getting stuff that you can't as easily get to with these. So I think you definitely don't need these for just starting out. I think it'll just be a great pickup just as a time saver later on. Next we have these regular long reach needle nose pliers, the same as these but without the bend in the tip. These are also I think a great tool in the same kind of concept, just saving time by making stuff easier to grab or get to in tighter spaces where these can't reach as easy. And then here we have these Quinn regular length angled needle nose pliers. So same as these, but just with the bend on them. So if you're getting into a spot that's kind of tricky, these will help you definitely. These will definitely help you out a lot. So again, don't really need all those starting out, but definitely nice to have. I could say start out with this one and then pick some of these up as you go along, and then you probably be fine. And then last but not least, we have these curved jaw locking pliers. So I love having a set of these, especially these nice ones with the nice rubber grip. Having something that can just lock onto something and stay there without you having to hold it is definitely a great feature. This is a 3-size set. You could probably get away with having just maybe a medium one or a bigger one. But I think these are pretty cheap. I'll put the price up on the screen. So you definitely would definitely not regret getting a pair of these. But to start out, again, I think you could probably get away with just having this set. If you have the money to spare, I would definitely pick these up as well. All right, guys, so right behind the pliers, you can see I picked up some individual ratchets. This is an Icon 90 tooth swivel head ratchet. You can see I already started using it. It's been pretty nice so far. And this is definitely a want more than a need. You don't need one of these, or they're definitely what you can get for a lot cheaper if you're just starting out. Especially if you go the route of getting a big tool set like I got here, which I'll talk about in a second. It comes with a couple ratchets, so you don't need to upgrade your ratchet already, or you can probably find a cheaper swivel head ratchet that'll serve you just as well. And then right next to the 90-tooth swivel head, I got this cheaper Pittsburgh dual flex ratchet, so it swivels and locks in two different places. I saw this in the store. I just thought it was interesting. I'm not sure how useful it will be, but I guess I'll figure out here soon in a second. I've also seen people, if I don't really find this dual swivel motion that useful, I'll probably just take this middle link off and make it just a stubby ratchet. But again, definitely not a need. This is just more of my curiosity, wondering if this would be any good. So I picked it up. It was pretty cheap. So I thought, why not? Okay, and then behind the ratchets, I have this Quinn 1/2-inch extendable breaker bar. So a breaker bar is definitely something that you'd want to pick up. So as far as which type, again, if you're going to get a big set like that, this comes with a couple. I think they're really not that big though. So I think having a nice, good size breaker bar like this one that extends too. I like this one because it's got the smaller profile for when you're actually storing it in a toolbox or something like that. And then if you need more leverage, you can go out and just pop it out to the size you need. So this is definitely, I think, would be a must-have, getting a nice size breaker bar. And then so back here, just some small accessories that you'll always need when working on cars if you don't want your hands too dirty. Just some gloves I got from Harbor Freight. These are usually pretty cheap. I got the 7mm gloves and the 9mm, and what that means is just the thickness of the actual rubber. So the 7mm are a little more flimsy. They rip a lot easier. This is good for just lightweight jobs where you're going in really quick and you don't want to use the heavier 9mm jobs. You're going to be reaching down in the engine bay a lot or doing a big project. I would definitely use a thicker glove so they're not ripping and just wasting these gloves because you're ripping every 5 seconds when you're actually working on the car. All right, and then back here, I picked up this adjustable plier rack. Just as some storage for my toolbox. You'll see how I use this later in the video. And also, this isn't really a necessity. It's just something that's nice to have depending on where you store your tools to keep everything nice and organized. All right, so I'll move to the side here and take a look at this US General wrench organizer set. So this Quinn Master Technician set that I got comes with a bunch of different wrenches. So I just got 2 of these things. Again, not necessary, but if you want to help keep things organized, it's definitely something that's nice to have. All right, and then right above everything else, you can see we have this Quinn Master Technician tool set that I decided to pick up mainly because just the sheer amount of different types of sockets that it came with, and also that it has a nice set of ratcheting wrenches, and then also regular combination wrenches. I made a whole video unboxing this and doing an overview and giving you some of my more in-depth thoughts on it. So if you want to see that, definitely go check it out on my channel, and I'll probably put a little link up in the top right corner of the screen. All right, and then some over here, we just have some more organization stuff. All 3 of these, we have the US General 3-piece socket trays. So this is good for all the different types of sockets you just saw that came in the Quinn set that I got to help keep everything organized. I did actually pick up 2 of these, but I made a mistake in grabbing 2 of the metric sets and not grabbing a standard set. So I returned the other metric set, but when I went to return it, they didn't have another standard set in stock. So I still have to pick up a standard set so I can organize all the standard sockets that came with my Quinn set. And then back here, we just have this little organizer tray. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this yet. I think this will be nice in my tech cart to keep around. So if I'm working on a job, it has a lot of different organizing trays to keep screws in and nuts and bolts in and keep everything nice and organized while I'm working on something. Then over here on the side, I'll bring it in so you can see a little better. This is just a 12-inch magnetic hanging tray with the screwdriver holder. So just more space for organization and some space for some screwdrivers. Another little tray, maybe for some nuts and bolts or various tools that I'm using during a job. I'll probably keep on my service cart. All right, guys, so this is just a little roller stool. This is nice because it has these extra drawers in here for some tool storage during a job, and then also has these little flaps that come down for some more tool storage. And these are actually magnetic, so for some like nut and bolt storage while you're taking stuff apart and keep it organized and safe so that nothing runs away. And then also on the back here, it comes with little tray to organize some more screwdrivers and pliers and stuff. So that's pretty cool. This is definitely not a need to have. I just picked this up because I've been eyeing it for a while. The seat's very comfortable. I originally started out with just the round adjustable height stool, and I used that for a couple years, so you can definitely get away with it. I think this is just a nice upgrade and nice to have. All right, guys, so now that we're done with the overview and you kind of heard some of my thoughts on why I picked everything out and what I think is the most essential and what I think are just things that are nice to have, I'm actually gonna go ahead and fill up my cart on my toolbox over here with everything. Mostly probably spend a lot of time just organizing it with all the different sockets that are in here. I definitely don't have enough organizers yet to fit all the sockets and tools that come with this, so I'm probably just gonna have some loosely laying around and kind of organized. But I'm gonna cut to that and show you guys how I decide to start filling up my drawer with everything that I have here. All right, guys, so I got the cart completely filled up with all the tools. My phone did die while I was filming most of the clips of me filling it up, and I didn't realize till afterwards, so I kind of lost that footage. But you saw a glimpse there of me putting some tools in the front cart, but that's fine. I'll just bring you in a little closer now and start explaining how I have everything set up here. All right, guys, so starting out with the top of the box here, you can see I've got all my sockets kind of organized here in the middle. On the left side, I have my flathead screwdrivers. All these blue ones are the ones that came with that Quinn set you saw earlier. This is an older one I have. On the right side, I'll show you a different angle in a little bit, but on the right side I have some of my Phillips head screwdrivers and my ratchets over here. But to talk about the sockets a little bit, so you can see that I don't have enough organization for these. So I have this one set that I showed you earlier for the metric, the black color for the metric, and then I still need to get the organizer set for my standard sockets here. But still after that, I will still need a couple more organizers for all the miscellaneous sockets that these don't have sizes for. So I have like a few bigger metric sockets that like these are like a 30 and 32. This only goes up to 27. And I have a few smaller ones, and I also have 12-point sockets that the set also came with that I need to get organization for. So basically a lot of socket organization I still need to get, but for right now, I guess this is fine. I just don't really like having it like this. I probably will try to get that as quick as possible. So definitely have to do something about that. And I'm curious to see if you guys, or I'm curious to know if any of you guys know of any good types of socket organizers that are maybe better than these even, that I could put some of my other miscellaneous sockets in. All right, so I just changed the camera angle real quick to show you guys the right side of the box. So I have, more miscellaneous. These are some swivel sockets, some adapters. I have my wrench or my ratchet that I think I'll be using the most out on the top, easy to get to. I just have a little pocket knife. And then on the right side here, I have all my other ratchets down in these little circles in the top of my chest. All right, so for my drawer organization, I kind of put it so that I have the tools I use most frequently closest to the top, and then everything else, all the miscellaneous stuff towards the bottom, and also some of the heavy tools towards the bottom, as you'll see in a second. All right, so for the first drawer here, you can see I have my set of metric ratcheting wrenches, and also I have a little Icon pick set right here. This is actually, bought this the other day, but I forgot to put it on the table earlier in the video. But a nice pick set is also a really great tool for when you're first starting out. For this next drawer, I have all the other combination wrenches. These are also metric, which I use the most. Down here, I have the rest of the wrenches. I have my standard ratcheting wrenches and my standard combination wrench sets. So I decided I don't really use these as much as I use these metric wrenches or I will use these metric ratcheting wrenches. So I put these down here in these little organizers because I found that They're not the easiest to take out, or really, I think taking out is fine, but just putting them back in, it seems like it might be a little bit of a hassle. So I think for these, I have them just laid out here right now. I might try to find something to better organize these later that makes it a little easier for me to pick them up and put them back in. In the side drawer here, I have all of my pliers. So this little plier organizer from Harbor Freight turned out to be really nice. It just keeps everything nice and upright and makes it easier for you to come in here and just pick something up and put it back and keep everything nice and organized. In this bottom drawer, a little empty, but I have my breaker bars right here, these three, and then all my ratchet extensions right here. All right, so looking down at the bottom set of 5 drawers, in this top one I have all of my, these are really all the hex bits I have. I threw these little Allen keys back here. I probably won't use these that much. I have all the bits that came with my Quinn set, these little socket bits, and then this little wrench bit driver that they gave me too. So all that's in here, and also these are kind of loosely thrown in here now. This won't stay like this. I'll also have to find some more organizers that I think will help keep these together a lot better. And below that one, I have this drawer that's going to be just miscellaneous stuff, so I threw some zip ties in there for now, and I also have some extra utility blades. In the side drawer, I have my hammers, so I have these 2 dead blow hammers, the Icon one I was showing you earlier, and then this older rubber one. I have a few other hammers too, but all my tools are still, some of them are still being moved over to this house. This is an empty drawer, so good for a future expansion. In the bottom drawer, I'm planning to keep most of my heavier tools. So right now I have my angle grinder in there with some different attachments and stuff, and just a little set of drill bits. But yeah, I'll be throwing most of my heavy tools down here. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much it for this video. As you can see, I still have a lot of work left to do as far as organizing the rest of my sockets in the top chest here. And I also have some tools that aren't at this house yet that I have to throw in some of the drawers as well. But even with those, I think I'll still have a good amount of room for expansion in the future, which I really like. I think the 10 drawer cart was a good size for me. Again, everything I showed you here today, all the tools I got in the haul, you don't always need to go out and buy everything at once. If it's not in your budget, don't let the amount of money that these tools cost discourage you from getting into the hobby. It's a lot of fun. Just start with what you can, work your way up, start with one job, buy the tools you need for that job, and then you can always add your collection later on. Yeah, just don't let it discourage you from getting started. I highly encourage anyone who's interested in the hobby to go out there, buy what they need, and just get wrenching on their own car just to see if they like it or not. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up down below. It'll help me out a lot. And if you want to see any more future garage-related content, please subscribe, as I'm going to be doing the epoxy floor in this garage soon. So if you'd like to see how that turns out, subscribe, and I'll be uploading that video very soon. As always, thank you so much, and have a great rest of your day.